start. Okay, guys, welcome back. As you can see, we have a very special guest. We have Chris from MMCrypto. He's straight out of Mexico today. We're gonna go into the Bitcoin charts very, very quickly. He's gonna show his trades from today. He's gonna show his trades from yesterday. He's gonna show his trades on Bybit. He's gonna show his trades on Femex and so much more. Chris, welcome. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, as you said, I'm here in Mexico, actually directly from the jungle. That's why my background is not as sophisticated as we are used to it. But I think it's all about the content. I'm happy to talk about Bitcoin today to your lovely audience. Actually, probably one of the smartest audiences in the world, right?
It's amazing to have you here, Chris, and exactly, we're gonna go into that. And what I love about your channel is that you show your trades live. You have crazy trades. I mean, we're talking about hundreds of thousands, sometimes $1 million trades. We're gonna go into Chris trades today as well, so guys, stay tuned until the end. And right now, as we're speaking, I know there is something insane happening for Bitcoin. So I'm gonna pull up your screen right now, Chris, and you can dive deep into the charts exactly what you see right now, because we are really breaking out now. So let's go and check very quickly. 1 second, there you go. We see your chart very clearly on the screen right now.
So yeah, exactly as predicted, Bitcoin is actually breaking out. Everyone who's subscribed to my channel and everyone who subscribed to yours also knows that Elon Musk right here before this massive pump, first of all, put the Bitcoin hashtag in his Twitter profile, right? And then somewhere right here, he confirmed actually that it was not a troll, that he is actually a supporter. You called it, we are in the post-Elon world. And
exactly.
Personally, it was the first event, the first news-based event I actually traded, because I think this is will have an insane impact on the Bitcoin price. We saw when Michael Saylor got in, well, we jumped from 11,000 to 40,000. It was, of course, also PayPal. It was, of course, the parabola itself, but I think he really fueled this bull market even more. And that's why I went into these trades. I will talk about that later. More importantly, right now, this is the 4-hourly candles. We are forming with this Elon rejection when the market was very uncertain, this rounding bottom here on the 4-hourly candles. And this is a very interesting pattern, because this rounding bottom gives us the assumption that this is a cup, and then we have here the handle. So a cup and handle pattern is a massively bullish pattern where we have a rounding bottom, a bullish consolidation, a bull flag here, and then eventually the breakout. What I love about this pattern, and it is a very tradable event, is that not only it has a heavy bullish bias, if you go over to Bulkovsky, it is the third best performing pattern at all, like of all patterns, and we confirmed it, we broke out, and right now Bitcoin continues the breakout. And I know, David, I know, Ivan, what everyone is looking out for, a crazy price target, and this is actually a price target for the immediate short term. Believe it or not, we are talking here about a price level close to the 44,000 US dollar levels. That would not only be breaking the all-time high at 42,000, it would bring us all the way up here. And as I said, this is the 4-hourly. So if this one is successful, we are maybe looking out for 44,000 within the next few days in the immediate short term. So this made me very bullish today in the morning.
Yeah, and it's so great to see. You wake up, you see Bitcoin pumping, Ethereum pumping, everything pumping, and especially Bitcoin, because it's been between 40 and 30K. It has given a lot of room for alts to breathe and for ETH to breathe. It's going to be very interesting to see how exactly alts perform now that Bitcoin is back. The king is coming back. Yeah. And looking at a bit more long term, how do you see this bull market unfolding? Let's say that we go to 43. What is your next prediction for this market? I mean, looking a bit zoomed out, what is the next stage? Because at the end of the day, all bull markets come to an end. So where do you think we are right now, and how far we have to go?
Yeah, I would say, especially for everyone who thinks I'm not exposed enough in the market, I only have 0.1 Bitcoin, I only have 0.01 Bitcoin, it's still a lot, because the price levels where we are right now, it's a joke. I mean, you are a lot into Ethereum. 1,700 is a joke for Ethereum, just as 45,000 or 40,000 where we are right now is a joke for Bitcoin. So I not only see the 44,000 level, I not only see the $54,000 level, which is another measured move price target. This is maybe one for the next 2-3 weeks, but I see even hundreds of thousands of dollars per Bitcoin this year. Because, I mean, we have, for Ethereum, we have all the DeFi incentives. We have Ethereum 2.0. We have locking up. We have a contraction of the circulating supply. The same thing actually happens for Bitcoin. We have Grayscale buying more Bitcoin than they are being mined. We have millionaires, 45 million millionaires in the world. We have more than 3,000 billionaires in the world. We have more than $7,000 billion institutions. And now you have to think about, if you have an absolutely scarce asset like Bitcoin, where you, in the first time in the history of mankind, cannot inflate the circulating supply or the maximum supply above a specific amount, in this case 21 million. And then you have people like Michael Saylor announcing that he's going into Bitcoin, the richest entrepreneur in the world announcing that he is supporting Bitcoin. I'm very sure he bought. Then, of course, you have the incentive structure that all the millionaires, billionaires, and billion-dollar institutions are incentivized to jump on the train because no one wants to be the last one. And usually, when the demand for watches increases, or for paintings, well, or for whatever it might be, for gold, well, people invest more into gold mining. What happens when they invest more into gold mining, into research and development to make it more efficient, or just into equipment to mine more gold? Well, you are actually mining more gold in the ocean. What happens when people are investing more into mining equipment for Bitcoin? The network gets more secure, right? We don't inflate more. So the only mechanism in a system like Bitcoin, where you have a capped maximum supply, is usually the supply and the price regulates it. But in this case, the supply is fixed, the demand increases. So the only mechanism to make Bitcoin available for everyone is the valuation to increase. This is why I personally think prices like $100,000, $200,000 are also a joke for Bitcoin. Even in this year, I am personally, my prediction, if you point a gun to my head, I have to point out a prediction. I would say $275,000 US. What's your opinion, Ivan? What do you think can we reach?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very reasonable because, look, right now we haven't even gone a nice 2x since all-time high that we have very, very confirmed. You know, we're so comfortable above 2x from the previous all-time high. We're still not comfortable above it yet. And if you look at the previous bull market, we really went basically 10x after we did a 2x. So previous all-time high, you remember, was 1K, then went to 2K, and then in the last few months, this was literally last few months of the bull market, we 10x that. So went 2x and then 10x more, so all in all, we got a 20x. I think the same is very plausible for Bitcoin, especially at the very, very last weeks and maybe months of the bull market. That's where I do think we're gonna see a parabola because it's gonna go vertical. But also, this leads me to the next question. Do you think that we will see another significant bear market when this parabola, let's say that we go to 100, 200, 300, who knows, because parabola can, if parabola just lasts one more week, we might jump from, 100 to 300 because it's really vertical at the very end. But do you think we will have another collapse in Bitcoin price like we saw last time? Minus 85% basically. You think it's possible now with all of the fundamentals that we just mentioned, or it's different this time? Which is, by the way, a very dangerous thing to say. No, it's different
Exactly.
this time. But is it different this time?
So it's always different, but in the end, it's same, right? Like history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And I think bear market is 100% certain. The only question is how much lower will we go? And if we look at 2011 or 2014, when we decreased like from 1,000, what was it, 1,300 something dollars down to 150, it was 200 or something. We had like nearly 90%. Then we had an 85% decrease over 2018. So I think with the market cap maturing, the volatility decreases. So we have diminishing returns to scale in both directions. So a bear market is certain. The question is how much. So maybe this time it is different in that way, that we only go down 60% or only go down 70%. I still think it is going to be very bloody because now we are taking all the mainstream in. Of course, the volatility decreases, but we have so many incentive structures, Bitcoin being locked up. We have Grayscale buying a lot of Bitcoin to satisfy the institutional and retail demand. But when this circulating supply is contracted and Bitcoin are locked up, Ethereum are locked up, they are not eventually locked up forever. So if there is a cascade of events which triggers fearful emotions and fearful behavior by the market participants, then I see the same thing which brought the Bitcoin price up, also, of course, unfolding to the downside. This time we have more fundamentals backing Bitcoin, Ethereum up. So, of course, there will be a lot of buying pressure pressing against it. But a bloody shakeout is, I think, pretty much certain.
How many percent you think we are into the bull market? Because there are certain things that are very, very good to see. For example, the fact that, my channel, your channel, we average 90, 100, 110K views per video, which is just a few months ago would be absolutely insane. And we're, by the way, guys, we're very, very thankful. Without you, this channel would not exist. And Chris's community as well. We're blessed. We're absolutely blessed. We do see Logan Paul. I don't know if you saw this this Bondly coin. Logan Paul is pumping Bondly. Mark Cuban releases NFTs. So in one way, you could say potentially that retail is already in heavily. I mean, what more do we want? We looking at the views, looking at the engagement on YouTube, we weren't even close in 2018. I posted this chart. My views now versus 2018. 2018 is nothing compared to now. So how many percent you think we have left in this bull market?
Percentage-wise, hard to say. Like time-wise or price-wise?
Time-wise.
Time-wise. Oh, time-wise, I think maybe not too much. If you look from the low in November or December 2018 or January 2019 when we had 3,150. So since then already, whole 2019 has passed, whole 2020, a little bit of 2021. So way more than 2 years. I think the bull market will go on for maybe 10 more months. 11, 12 more months, something like that. So I would say 2/3 are already over.
And one of the most important things with your channel is that you show your trades. And I know your followers making insane gains and you do all of this trading live. I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's go straight into your trades. Let's go straight into Bybit. Let's go straight into Femex. You're going to show us your trades that you did yesterday, today, the new trades, the old trades. We're going to see everything, guys. Very, very exclusive for us here on the channel. I love it, man. Big shout out, by the way, to big shout out to Sunny Zikria. I think you guys recognize the parody he made on all of us, by the way.
Yeah, I show you my trades. I show you my trades on Bybit. I show you my trades on Femex. Yeah, the thing is, I show my trades always, and of course, it's not showing off. I show them when they open them. I show them when they close them. I just want to take as many people as possible with me into these trades, and sometimes we have even an unprofitable one. Recently, it actually didn't happen so much, but I'm always saying we are the most profitable community in the world, and this is, of course, also because I show my trades. So it's not to show off, but I'm pretty sure it's interesting to see. So this is my trade over on Bybit, where I have right now, this one is $200,000 in profit. I already took 6 Bitcoin out. Oh no, this is a brand new one. This is $200,000 in profit. I didn't take anything out of this trade, actually. It's 1 million contracts. I opened it in the moment Elon Musk was actually putting Bitcoin handle in his Twitter profile. I went live in the exact moment I opened this trade. So this is $200,000 in a profit. I have another one, which I was actually much more certain and I was much more confident to open it, because in the end of the day, this could have been a massive troll of Elon Musk, right? And I opened a new trade. Usually I opened all my trades based on patterns. These are the only 2 trades which I opened based on news. Based on patterns, it's much better as a technical analyst. But whenever the richest entrepreneur in the world joins and the market is not reacting, I see for myself and for my community a big opportunity. This is why here I traded the news. The market not reacting while the richest person in the world, like the richest entrepreneur in the world, confirms his Bitcoin support. Well, this was the moment I actually scaled this trade up here. And this trade here is, it was 165,000 contracts. I put another 2.5 million in. And I'm very aware of that most of the people don't have the funds to just open a 2.5 million trade. Doesn't matter if you are experienced and you put in a $500 trade, $100, a $50 trade. Well, this one already performed 600%. So it's about the percentage gains. And as you can see, this is right now, after taking $200,000 in profits before, is right now $855,000 in a profit. And I'm not closing this trade right now, just to give a little bit of an insight what to do with the trade. If you are in a trade right now, or if you are opening a breakout trade right now, I think the smartest thing to do would be to take some profits already before the previous all-time high at $42,000. We always see psychological resistance coming in. Many times we see an initial rejection, so you could take some profits out to go in a little bit lower, and then I would eventually close most of my trade, the biggest part of my trade, at $44,000. And yeah, of course, I have much higher price targets as well, but they are probably to be taken with new trades, which I will announce in the future as well.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Guys, it's insane to see. Very, very good to see your success, Chris. And also thanks for sharing, because it's a lot of inspiration. I know there's always someone who will say, oh, you know, it's bragging. No, guys, it's not bragging. It is inspiration, and it's also showing that, you know, these things are possible. These things are absolutely, absolutely, absolutely possible. Now, when I watch your live stream, sometimes you're speaking about a legendary trade that you are collecting, you're accumulating funds, and soon there's gonna be a legendary trade. What is is that all about? Are you going all in 100x on Bitcoin? What is the meaning of that legendary trade, and when will that happen? What is your plan?
Well, yeah, I opened one legendary trade, and my community was much smaller back then at $9,400 when we broke out of this crazy 3.5 years converging trend lines of the bear market, the Bitcoin price bouncing in between support and resistance. The moment we broke out, I opened this old legendary trade. It's now also like approximately 800K in profits, and many people joined our community afterwards. So now I want to come up with a new legendary trade. I'm actually accumulating myself for that. One of them could be already the Elon Musk one, because usually, for example, you saw Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy buying Bitcoin. Michael Saylor at 9,000 something, MicroStrategy at 11,000, again at 21,800, then again at $31,000. And always when he bought, we never saw price levels below that again. So the market actually gets a lot of confidence whenever we have a billionaire, multi-billion-dollar institution buying in at a specific price level. So far we saw, once he bought in, or once MicroStrategy bought in, or once Elon Musk gave his confirmation, we just went sideways or up, but we didn't go below. So this was one moment again, and not saying we are not going below $30,000 again, but with moments like Elon Musk going in, MicroStrategy buying more, of course, this increases the likelihood. So a legendary trade for me personally is a trade where you go in and you keep it open for a year. You keep it open for 10 months. And the only way to do so is to find a price level where we can say with a high degree of certainty that we are not going significantly below that price level again, to prevent ourselves from a liquidation or stop loss. So I think this was the moment, maybe here at $32,000, $33,000. And for everyone who is still waiting for that moment, who missed that moment or the moment before, I think, Ivan, to answer your question, my next legendary trade will be at the next huge retracement when we are going down to the 20-week EMA. For this, let me just quickly to round it off here for everyone who might be interested in that. I'm going to the weekly now, and I am taking out, let me quickly see, where is my EMA? There it is. So I'm taking out the EMA moving average, this orange line here. So we can see we are far away from that. Actually, right now, this is at 24,500. But the higher we go, the more we go here into time, of course, the more this one increases. And historically, we saw a nice touch point right here in September. We saw a touch point right here before. And if we go into 2017, we saw how Bitcoin always perfectly went down and touched it. Right? So I am waiting for this touch of the 21-week EMA to confirm furthermore, okay, this might be a reversal. And if we are seeing a reversal there, if we see a strong volume supported bounce, this is certainly a moment where I'm going heavily into Bitcoin. Right now, that would be at 24,500. In 3 or 4 weeks, this would be above $30,000. This is my
Chris, a final question. So we just saw quite a big dump. You remember, from 42K all the way to even below 30, I think we dipped to 29 something-ish. So how well do you think that dump really reset the bullishness? Because as you show here, we did not really go, all the way down to that moving average, 21 weekly EMA. So did we actually touch, according to your analysis, some significant moving averages, some significant other metrics that tell us, okay, probably we are looking at a good leg up next?
No. I unfortunately not. I even checked out now. This is now the 13-week EMA, and even this one we didn't touch. We had this horizontal resistance. Let me quickly go over to the 4-hourly, the horizontal support. We had this big descending triangle, which is a bearish pattern. Usually it should break much more often towards the downside than to the upside. And things are a little bit different. We should have gone down much more. We went down 25% or something like that. Usually we are very used to 40% retracements, 42, 43. I really think that Michael Saylor, his convention for corporations, where he is convincing big corporations to put some of their Bitcoin into treasury, then Elon Musk, all of these things, the Bitcoin trust, the Ethereum trust of Grayscale, many of these things are just giving confidence in the market. And it seems like the impossible happened here. We broke out towards the upside. We didn't break the horizontal support, which we touched many, many times. And we didn't go to the 13-week EMA. We didn't go to the 21-week EMA. So it's it's quite unbelievable how bullish Bitcoin is and how we actually punished all the bears waiting for lower price targets. To answer your question, no, we didn't hit the traditional metrics where we would say this dump is already over. And I think the reason for this is the news we had.
Very interesting, very interesting. Chris, thanks a lot for being here. Guys, go subscribe to Chris very, very quickly. Do it fast because he gives a lot of value, showing multi-million-dollar trades basically every day. Every day I tune in, you show your trades on Femex, on Bybit. It's amazing, it's amazing. And Chris, any final words to our community before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I just said in the beginning, I think your community is one of the smartest audiences in the world. You have a lot of programmers there. You talk a lot about fundamentals and very important things, especially for the long run for Bitcoin and about price action. So I really love your audience. I go into the comments sometimes and I see just so many lovely comments, so much positive energy. So it's just beautiful to talk here to you and to your audience. So thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Chris.